Raging Bolt and Terapagos are definitely going to be top 5 decks in the Journey Together format. Today, John and I are going to try these out. I'm going to be playing Terapagos and start us off. I'm going to start with Tilmask Ogrepont and use its Till Dance ability to draw a card and attach a grass energy. I get the Fan Rotom off the draw and use its Fan Call ability to search 3 colorless Pokemon with 100 HP or less. I already have 2 Noctowl in hand, so I'm going to get Ditto and 2 Hoot Hoots. The Ditto has an ability that if it's in the active, I can discard it and replace it with another basic from the deck. I also have Nest Ball in hand. This is going to let me get the Latios to be able to get the Ditto into the active for free. I then use the Ditto Transformative Start ability to be able to get Pikachu EX from deck. John's playing Raging Bolt, so it's going to be hard for him to knock out the Pikachu EX because he's not playing Slitherwing. I then pass the turn. On John's turn, he's going to start by benching a Raging Bolt EX and playing Nest Ball. He gets Squawkabilly EX, and he's going to use its Squawk and Seize ability here. I would have liked to have seen him play the Earthen Vessel first, getting a little bit of energy into the discard pile for later use with Sada and potentially Motivate. He prized the Latias EX, so he's not going to be able to retreat this Hoot Hoot and attack with Squawkabilly to put damage on the Pikachu. So he's just going to use Till Dance and draw a card and attach a Fighting Energy for turn to the Raging Bolt. Then he's going to play Iona, which I'm not really a fan of since it's his only copy of the card and he's not going to be able to interrupt my hand later. After the Iono, he's going to bench Mew EX and then play Nest Ball. This is going to allow him to find the single prize Raging Bolt, which has the Thunderburst Storm attack, which for each energy attached to it does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. This allows him to snipe Pokemon like Hoot Hoot off the bench. He plays Area 0 before passing the turn to me. We now both have 8 bench spots because of the stadium. On my turn, I'm going to retreat the Pikachu into the Fan Rotom and attach energy and just be able to knock out the Hoot Hoot with its attack. On John's turn, he promotes the Raging Bolt and then attaches energy for turn, and then uses the Till Dance ability to draw 1 card and attach an energy to the Tilmask Ogrepont. He tries to attach for turn again to the Raging Bolt, but we catch it. He then uses Bellowing Thunder to knock out the Fan Rotom, detaching an energy from the Tilmask Ogrepont. I promote the Pikachu and then draw for turn. I'm going to play Nest Ball and get Pheasantipity EX, which is going to allow me to draw 3 cards with its Flip the Script ability since he took a knockout. I'm then going to use Till Dance to draw a card and attach an energy to the Ogrepon. I bench a Hoot Hoot and retreat into a Hoot Hoot so that I can only have to give up 1 prize card next turn if John doesn't find a Gust. On John's turn, he plays Ultra Ball to get Hoot Hoot, and then attaches for turn to the Raging Bolt, and knocks out the Hoot Hoot. This is going to make my Flip the Script ability alive again. Then I play Nest Ball, getting Lily's Clefairy and attach for turn to a Psychic Energy. Lily's Clefairy has an ability making Dragon Pokemon weak to Psychic. I play Energy Switch, putting Grass Energy on the Lily's Clefairy from the Ogrepon. Then I bench Hoot Hoot and Blood Moon Ursaluna before playing Ultra Ball to find a Noctowl. The Noctowl Jewel Seeker ability, when it evolves, allows you to search any 2 trainer cards from your deck as long as you control a Tera Pokemon. I'm going to get Ultra Ball and Crispin and play the Crispin to get a Grass and Metal. I've already attached for turn, so I'm going to just attach the Metal with the Crispin to the Pikachu and put the Grass in hand. I then use the Full Moon Rondo to knock out the Raging Bolt due to weakness. He promotes the small single prizer Raging Bolt. And then on his turn, he's going to bench a Tilmask Ogrepon and then play a Noctowl, getting Sada and energy retrieval. He uses the Sada to put a lightning energy on the Raging Bolt and a fighting energy on the Raging Bolt EX. And then he's going to be able to draw 3 cards. He uses the energy retrieval to get 2 grass energy from the discard pile back to his hands that he's going to be able to use the Till Dance abilities of his Ogrepons to draw 2 new cards. He's then going to attach for turn to the Raging Bolt, allowing it to do 90 damage to one of my Pokemon. He's going to use it to knock out one of my benched Hoot Hoots after he benches a Hoot Hoot of his own. With that, I'll draw for turn, and then I'm really eating him alive with this Flip the Script ability, drawing another 3 cards with it. Here I'm going to be able to boss the Raging Bolt to take another 2 prize knockout with the Lily's Clefairy due to weakness. He promotes the single prize Raging Bolt again and plays Ultra Ball. He's going to use it to find Pheasantipity EX, which will allow him to see 3 more cards. He then plays Sada to attach energy to the Raging Bolt and draw 3 more cards. He then's going to play Night Stretcher to get Noctowl so that he can search his deck for any 2 trainer cards. He's going to look for a little bit, but he hasn't really found anything that's going to allow him to win the game. He gets Earthen Vessel so that he can put more energy on the Raging Bolt, but realizes there's no way for him to take a knockout on the Clefairy, so he decides to concede the game. Lily's Clefairy and Pheasantipity EX really dominated Game 1. In Game 2, I'm going to start with the Ditto ability. It's going to allow me to switch it with any basic in the deck. I'm going to go with the Pikachu EX since he doesn't really have a way to deal with it. And it's a pretty good attacker in this matchup with its 300 damage for 3 energy. I then play Buddy Buddy Poffin for the Fan Rotom and Hoot Hoot, and use its Fan Call ability to get 2 more Hoot Hoots and a Noctowl in my hand. I attach a Grass Energy to the Pikachu and pass the turn. On John's turn, he's going to start with Ultra Ball, discarding 2 cards to search a Pokemon. He's going to discard the Fighting Energy and the Lightning Energy, and search for Squawk and Seize. His hand's pretty poor, so we're trying to figure out the best play to go with. But with the Squawk ability, we can attach energy and play the Prime Catcher to move it to the active, and then Squawk and Seize to see 6 new cards, hoping to find something a little bit better to work with. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case as we see 3 Sadas and a bunch of basics. We're going to go ahead and bench all the basics, Latias EX, Mew EX, and Koraidon, and play one of the Sadas to attach the fighting to the Koraidon. And with the new cards, we're going to get Raging Bolt EX, and use Motivate to attach the lightning to it and do 20 damage to the Hoot Hoot. On my turn, I'm going to evolve into Noctowl, which its Jewel Seeker ability will work since I have the Pikachu EX on the bench. I'm going to be able to search any 2 trainer cards that I want from my deck. I'm going to get Boss's Orders and Sparkling Crystal. I play a Nest Ball to get Latias so I can get back into the Pikachu. Then I'm going to be able to Earthen Vessel to get a Grass and a Metal Energy. By attaching the Metal Energy to the Pikachu and the Sparkling Crystal, I'll be able to attack with the Pikachu this turn and do 300 damage. I boss the Raging Bolt and do just that, discarding just 2 energy since that's all the Pikachu had, since the Sparkling Crystal is a tool card and doesn't need to be discarded. On John's turn, he's going to play Sada, drawing 3 cards and attaching to the Koraidon. He's going to bench Raging Bolt, but not really have anything to do with it in this game. We look at his hand again to see if there's anything else we can come up with, but he really just doesn't have anything. We're just going to retreat into the Koraidon and poke the Pikachu so we can knock it out later. On my turn, I'm going to go ahead and evolve into a Noctowl and search for 2 more trainer cards. I really want to take 2 prizes this turn, and I think I might overcommit a little bit to that. I'm trying to figure out a way to be able to gust and attack this turn. If I get Crispin, I won't be able to use the boss's orders, so I'm trying to find another way to get energy on the Pikachu. This is going to require me to get Teal Mask Ogerpon and Energy Switch into play. I go ahead and get Nest Ball and Energy Switch and and play the Area 0 so that I can bench the Teal Mask Ogerpon. Its Teal Dance ability lets me put a Grass Energy in play and draw a card. I can then Energy Switch that Grass Energy to the Pikachu. But first I'm going to play Ultra Ball, searching for another Noctowl to get the rest of the pieces I need. The second Noctowl is going to allow me to get Boss's Orders. I'm also going to have to get something to get an energy, so I get Night Stretcher so I can get the Metal Energy from the discard pile. But this is going to leave me with no Hoot Hoots, and a lot of resources committed, but I take out the Latias and take 2 prizes to go down to 2 prizes to his 6. He promotes the Koraidon, which just needs 1 more energy to be able to use its second attack to knock out this Pikachu because of weakness. Before that, he's going to play Iono, putting me down to 2 cards and making my situation a little bit harder. He plays Nest Ball, gets Teal Mask Ogerpon. He then plays Ultra Ball, discarding a Noctowl. He's looking at his hand. He has 2 Noctowl and 2 Grass, so we discard 1 of each and go ahead and get Raging Bolt trying to line up as an attacker later. He then plays the Teal Mask Ogerpon to draw a card, and then use Earthen Vessel to find the fighting energy he needed to be able to attack with the Koraidon. He can't play the Crispin this turn because he played Iono. He's going to go ahead and attach the fighting to the Koraidon and knock out the Pikachu. I promote the Latias and draw for turn. I play Ultra Ball and get Mew EX. Since I have an empty hand, this will allow me to draw 3 cards with its restart ability. I find a Hoot Hoot to bench and a Wellspring Mask Ogerpon and play Crispin to attach energy to it. I get a Water and Psychic, but I'm not going to be able to get the third energy to use its second attack, so I'm just going to use Sob and trap him in the active and do 20 damage. He's going to start his turn playing Crispin, but unfortunately he drew his lightning energy for turn, meaning he only has a grass energy in the deck. He can add it to his hand, but Crispin requires you to add one to your hand before you can attach another energy. So he has to attach the lightning for turn. He then's going to use the Hammer in attack to do 110 damage to the Ogerpon. I then attach the third energy to be able to use the Ogerpon's attack that does 100 to the active and 120 to a benched Pokemon. I should have probably knocked out the Noctowl, but I end up going with putting 120 on the Squawk ability. This is going to come up later on the next turn. He draws for turn, and then knocks out the Ogerpon. Now we're tied at 2 prizes when I was well ahead before. I attach the Psychic Energy to the Fan Rotom and then use Flip the Script on the Fezandipity that I just benched. I'll be able to retreat into the Fan Rotom and take a knockout. If I had just knocked out the Noctowl, this would have been enough to win the game. I'm going to play Iono and reset both our hands and hope for the best, and then take the knockout on the Koraidon, taking me down to 1 prize card. He promotes the Raging Bolt EX and plays Night Stretcher. He's only going to need 1 energy to be detached to knock out the Fan Rotom, and that's what he does. I promote the Latias. Unfortunately, my last prize card is the Lily's Clefairy, so this Raging Bolt's going to be pretty hard for me to knock out. I do have 1 Noctowl to work with. I'm going to play Buddy Buddy Poffin to be able to search the deck and just kind of get an idea of what's in there. I don't want to bench anything here because I still need to come up with an attacker for this Raging Bolt EX. It looks like my best bet in the deck is the Terapagos. It can do 240 as long as I have a full bench, which if I bench it, will give me 8 benched Pokemon. I use Flip the Script to draw 3 cards. Unfortunately, I draw 3 energy, which isn't going to help me. I use the Tillmass to draw 1 more card. And with that, I get the Nest Ball, which is going to give me the Terapagos. And I make sure I still have the energy after drawing 3 different energy off the Flip the Script, because I have Crispin in hand. And with the Crispin, that'll win me the game. So John concedes with that.